I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer. What I meant to say was, hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Excuse me, I hiccuped. Excuse me, I coughed. Oh, pardon me, I breathed. No, I'm just kidding. So I am on my own today, as I used to be. And to be honest with you, I don't even know really what I should do on my own anymore, because I don't know how well I can do like lore dives on my own anymore. I feel so I feel irrelevant and very much in the shadow of those whom I call my friends. They are so much better at this stuff than I am. And all of my thoughts, like all of my ideas, I've kind of already talked about them. But I do have some ideas that I think I can kind of dive into a little bit. And good morning, Spud. How art thou? So let's dive in, shall we? What am I doing here? I wasn't doing anything here. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. None of your business. Let's go. Let's go to Shifra River, shall we? Shall we go there? I actually have, I don't know. I have thoughts. And I don't know how, relevant they are at all. But I suppose we shall see. Hold on, let's see. Birder. I'm just setting some things up here. Blur. So that I can see the chat. Hi, Metal Foxhunt. Thank you very much. Happy Friday to you as well. This is doing grand, Your Highness. This is doing grand. Alright, let's see. Alright, why can't I jump up on this rock? Okay, I finally did it. As you can see, I have this. Do you see it? Do you see? Look at it. So this is Euphoria, which is kind of a secreted away endgame DLC weapon. When it originally dropped, it was hidden away in the game files, and interestingly enough, it was called something else. It was called the Twin Blade of Abundance and Decay, which screams Miquella and Melania. I'm gonna have a really good look at it. And what's really cool about it, if you have a really close look here, is its design. And if you look, do you see there toward the end how like the blade is like this intricate pattern, but then there's like some chips in what looks like the blade, but the intricate pattern is still there and stuff like that. That's giving something to, in my opinion. It's giving the way fossils look when they I'm trying to sort out how to best view it. There we go, maybe. How fossils look when they're etched from stone, partly, but not all the way. So I think this has been turned into a weapon with the stone. I think what this really is literally a fossil. I think this is a fossil of a shoot. So we know that it takes roughly 10,000 years for organic tissue to mineralize and become stone. And if you look at this, there's other indicators, like, do you see those little bulbous things there? Which look like some kind of coagulated organic fluid that is, you know, stuck behind a membrane, and then that membrane itself fossilized. So it's probably really thin mineralized material. And if we read the description of this item, it says that it is a shoot from, I think it says the tree. It says, though the blades fashioned from golden shoots are largely wilted and darkened, the luster can be restored by dealing damage to foes. However, damage dealt to those who live in death will have no such effect. So what's fascinating about this petrified, fossilized, organic plant material, thank you, Jack, for articulating that superbly, is is that, to me, it's giving like golden tree, like either great tree or Erd tree or something like that, right? But what's really fascinating about it is that, so we know originally it was called the twin blade of abundance and decay. This means that it was supposed to have some kind of duality to it. And when we look at it now, you can see shadow and golden light. And on both sides of the blade, it goes from the same side to the same side. So like the darkness is always to my character's right, and the gold is always to my character's left. Which I think is also interesting and perhaps telling. But the more I look at this, like, it almost looks like here in the, what I would call the crossguard of the blade, there it looks like roses and fish scales and all kinds of organic stuff, and as you come up, it's still doing organic tissue, it's still giving organic tissue, and then it starts looking like a fossil etched out of stone. And it does say that this was fashioned from the shoots, golden shoots. Now, are you guys at all familiar with Scum Mage's newest video that dropped? If you aren't, familiarize yourselves, darlings, please. I'm gonna go to a particular somewhere in an effort to have a look at a statue. It does look a bit like a fossilized feather. In fact, that's the first thing I thought. It looks a bit like, it reminds me of Archaeopteryx, if you recall what those fossils look like. It looks like that to me, Archaeopteryx. It could be, but I know that it was originally linked with Mikola and Melania. Now it's found in a secreted away place in Enir Elim, and I think that because it's called a hidden treasure of Enir Elim, I think that that suggests something. But if you look here, do you see this? Those are shoots, right? Those are a tree that's been cut or burned or something, like its trunk is fucked right there where it's cut off, but the root system still survived and the base of the trunk still survived, and so it from this moment has the opportunity to regrow in space. Scum just talked about this in his video. And then you see this figure here holding on to one of the shoots. And that shoot in particular looks like a death weapon, which I don't think I have it because I never fight the death birds. But I might. So let's see. I think it's called Death's Poker. I may still have it, but the point of me doing this is that what I'm trying to get at is I think this weapon is mega ancient, and it's giving it's to me it's giving the same kind of energy as like this. Does it not look really similar to you guys? Like, obviously it doesn't look like a body, but it doesn't look like an animal's body. It does, however, look like a botanical body. Do you see this? Organic tissue turned into a petrified weapon. It's the same. Yeah. So I don't want to keep this weapon on my hotbar. But anyway, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think Marika and her people are much older than we thought before. And I want you to consider... Hi, Messy Jessie. I want you to consider something that Scum Mage and I actually spoke about like 2 days ago. And I hope he won't hate me for talking about this on live stream, but I'm sure he won't. I get like 0 views. But something I brought to his attention was, have you ever watched Melina walk toward you from far away? Have any of you ever watched it? When she walks towards you from far away. And why was I coming over here? There was a reason I was coming over here and I completely forgot what it was. Oh, I was looking to see if I have Death's Poker in my chest. For some reason, I like to be able to navigate my weapons and stuff easily, and if I know I'm not going to use a weapon, I just shove it in my chest. And Death's Poker just sounds horrid and like something I would never use, so sounds to me like something I would shove in my chest. If I have it at all. I don't have it. But anyway, Melina. The way Melina walks, her knees are like pointed inward. Her legs look kind of weak. She floats a lot. She floats. And she jumps and floats and moves very quickly. But she never really looks like her legs are very powerful. And then it dawned on me that she walks exactly the same way that the Black Knife assassins walk, and that they walk really similarly to the way the Jar women walk. If you've ever seen the way the shamans in the Jars walk, their knees are turned inward. They look like, you know, like they're suffering. The interesting thing is that the Nox the Nox don't look like that, but the Black Knife assassins do, and Melina does. And then I thought, oh my god, the connection here is that the Albinorics start like not being able to use their legs, or their legs disappear altogether. And the Carians, all of them have something weird going on with their legs as well. I think there's a connection there, and this is why I was talking about how like I'm no good with it. I'm not good at the lore, you know, when compared to big brains like Scum and Jack and Kite, and that's why I feel like a little bit inferior talking about these things now, because all of my ideas are kind of already spent. Like me using my geological eyes, there's only so much that I can come up with. Like, for example, that this is a fossil, obviously, which means that this comes from 10,000 years ago or more. That's a huge amount of time. Trees don't walk, yes. But I don't think that they are like ants. I think that they are tree people for sure. Hi Valkyrie. But yeah, so I think the connection is that the Carians are part of the same lineage. But anyway, when I was doing all of this, I realized, do you guys know how strong my build is? I melt things. Because of these. And this. I melt shit. And the other way that I do it, especially against undead, is like this. And this. Most people would go for Golden Vow, which sure, whatever, but like this melts stuff, especially undead, and it's really, really cool. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I'm really proud of my build. But yeah, I really would like to explore this more, and I really like that Scum is kind of doing that with his videos. It's inspiring me to think a lot more about that kind of stuff. And for those of you who were wondering, like, because, you know, I've been saying, like, so Tarnished Archaeologist came out with a video that was talking about how those giant ship things got to the DLC, got to the Shadow Realm. And he says it's because, like, the land was must have been all molten rock at some point. Do you remember in Kite Stream, any of you, in Kite Stream, when I was talking about how it's so strange to me, it's like the land doesn't make any sense. It's almost like somebody, like some kind of godly power, unfathomable power, just took the world and molded it however they want to. Because if you look, it really does spiral. it spirals upward and spirals and spirals. Well, the connections that Scum and this other lore tuber called Occam's Onion have made between Faramazula and Alphael and what's happening up here and ancient times, and that the two fingers, you know, have an actual presence here, like in this dungeon here, wherever it is. Actually, maybe we should run there and get it. Do I have it? I have it. It's here. Giant conquering hero's grave. The two fingers actually have banners in there from back when they were, you know, an influential power in the world. And they were this influential power in the world riding on the coattails of Marika, or was Marika riding on theirs? It's a really fascinating thing to consider. Or were they both offering each other power, like it was a mutually beneficial thing? It's hard to say, but oh, there it is. If you look just there, do you see that? And so, oh, and the really funny thing, in my opinion, is that it goes down into what looks like two fingers. And if you look at this particular relic, I'm sorry, not relic, talisman that depicts the two fingers as orators, I'm trying to remember where this one is. There's a talisman that shows the two fingers like standing in a doorway or something like that. And hi Revu. Yes, thank you for the Halloween thumbnail. Everyone, Revu is the one who's responsible for my aesthetic presence here, so thank you to Revu. But yeah, so it's just something I just find really, really fascinating. Because the two fingers are depicted like standing in a doorway. It talks about how they used to be great orators, and then it shows this two fingers standing there on two fingers, like it had two legs. But at some point those were chopped off or something like that. So that's really fascinating to me. Very interesting. And I feel like I keep saying stuff like that and I'm just going in circles. But anyway, yeah, that's something I wonder about and I'm still curious about. But this makes some things make so much more sense to me. So I remember saying that it's almost like this, you know, somebody took control of the rock itself and moved it how they wanted it, because it does, this kind of thing doesn't occur in nature, and it, you know, this isn't, you know, I would chalk it up to just being just fantasy geology. But the fact that they paid attention to the rock in different regions is telling me that they wanted people like me to notice it. Like, this looks like natural rock formation, but in Liurnia, that doesn't look like natural rock formation. But this still is not natural rock formation. And I know this because, look, I think the reason why the world's crust went molten is so that those giants could be defeated. Because all around the world, they are submerged in the earth, just like the ruins of their world. Submerged, like, in the stone itself. You know, no matter how powerful you are, unless you can phase through solid matter, you can't like be lodged in stone like that unless the stone at some point is like amorphous between liquid and solid. So I kind of think that when that occurred, that's what stopped the giants. That's what defeated them. And so those giants must have done something that caused them to become this enemy that the Erd Tree or whomever, the Greater Whale, whomever is responsible at the time, sought to destroy at, at, at the same time that they were punishing the Nox. Because when the world shifts, there's a fascinating thing here. I don't have any of these graces on this character, but there's a fascinating thing here that in Noxtella Eternal City, you can get an Erdtree sapling seed, just like you can in Faramazula. And so that leads me to believe that all of these places were, you know, on the ground and on the surface of the ground at one point. So it's fascinating that we have now multiple enemies who were either banished under the ground or literally inside of it. And the other thing I really wanted to point out about these dragons is something that Occam's Onion brought up. I'm going to take you guys around Faramazula, and I'm going to show you some stuff that you may or may not have ever noticed before. But when Occam's Onion pointed it out to me, I was just amazed. And of course Occam's Onion didn't point it out directly to me, but pointed it out and I saw the video. If you look up, you'll see there are green and red trees here in Faramazula. There's only one other place where this kind of tree grows, and Scum Mage pointed this out, and that is in Elfil. So these are kind of like a northerly tree. Right. Well, if you look here, you can see these dragons' stone skin, and you can see injuries on the dragons, and where you see those injuries, you see gold underneath. I don't think that's what that is. I think that's where there were shadows blocking light. So, Occam's Onion proposes that the eclipse did occur, that it was an actual thing that did physically occur in the world, and when it did, it petrified things. Look down there, all those trees, they are white. They are petrified. The dragons, they are... Here, let me see if I can get a better look at this dragon. The inside of its wings when it's not attacking. If you look inside the wings where shadow, where, you know, it's shaded, it's like pure gold. I think the whole dragon was once gold, but when the eclipse touched the dragon, it drained it of its color, just like it drained everything else the light of the eclipse touched. And if we read the description of these stones here, it even kind of says something like that. Here, let's see. Special armaments with unique characteristics cannot be strengthened with colored smithing stones. Number of steps and amount strengthened differ from standard equipment. Okay. Ancient smithing stone drained of color. So, and we know that these smithing stones are made from dragon scales, right? Well, not all of them are drained from color. And what color is this? It's golden. And it says right there, smithing stone made by polishing a golden gravel stone, or dragon skin, a scale of the ancient dragon lord, and hidden treasure of Farum Azula. So I think what's going on here is what Occam's Onion said, is that the eclipse did actually happen, and it was like a world-ending event, and it was the Nox who did it. They tried to block out the sun from the sun realm with this eclipse ritual, and when this happened, it caused like this big meteorological event, and the sky turned into like a petrifying force. And if we go to like, let's see, how do I go there? Do I go there? I think it might be here. If we, there's a place in Farum Azula that you can see this very clearly. Here it is. Look at this, you guys. Where the light touched this tree, it was petrified and it turned white. But the light didn't touch it everywhere. And you can see right now that some of it is in shadow because of where the sun is hitting it from. Well, the sun will always hit it from this location now because someone stopped time in Farum Azula. Now we know why. They stopped time to save themselves from being petrified, right? So this is what Occam Onion talks about in his video. But I firmly believe that these trees right here, and some people, you know, I've said this to other people and they just don't agree with me. These trees right here, they look remarkably similar to the same trees that we see on like the, what do you call them? The wandering mausoleums. And these ones are gutted. Petrified and gutted. Kind of like someone or something was inside of it and came out of it. And when you think about Marika and Radigan being made of stone, then it all starts to click. Like, what if they were not stone because they are dragons, but stone because they were exposed to the eclipse that took out the sun and drained the sky and everything it touched of color. And I think that Farum Azula is a really good place to see where this occurred. Like, you can see half of this tree is petrified and stone, and the other half of it is still organic tissue. It's still a tree. It still has red leaves. So, fascinating stuff. I highly recommend Occam Onion supplemented with Scum Mage info. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant lore tubers. And they don't even know about each other, I don't think, but I've been trying to introduce them to each other because their ideas blend beautifully. That on top of, you know, the stuff that Tarnished Archaeologist has pointed out with the stuff that I pointed out, and I think the story starts to come together. And then the stuff that Nameless Singer pointed out, but most importantly, stuff that Jack has not yet pointed out that I think he's going to very soon, and it weaves everything together. But I don't think any one of these people are incorrect. I think that everyone's bringing like wonderful lore to the table still, and it's incredible to witness it and to piece it together with my own ideas, and to, you know, piece everyone else's ideas together. as I witness them. But like, if you look down there, do you see that? So there's stone on top of this building, all this stone. It kind of looks like molten earth. I think all those people that were saying long ago that Faramazala was once like on the ground, I was like, no, 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 it doesn't make sense. I think I was wrong. I think it was once on the ground, and that it started to get covered in stone when the earth was turned molten and it rose up above. And then, you know, all these people want to exact revenge, the Nox in particular, because this is the sun realm. They tried to eclipse the sun, and they paid for it dearly. Just something I'm thinking about, just something that came to mind. Okay, I'm gonna read people's comments. I think loads of people left. Valkyrie says, shout out to Netflix show Yaaaas, by the way. My man says, I am literally Prometheus in that show, LOL. Spotify says, yes, if fossilized bodies were made to build this area's rock face. Valkyrie says, do you think it's possible that the 1,000-year voyage referenced by Ronnie and Nicola is standard length of time for God's rule, and that perhaps the eclipse is supposed to wipe the slate? Maybe they could have been queen and king in all of the stone etchings. So where would you put the great eclipse apocalypse in the meantime? Oh, in the timeline. I think it would definitely come... I'll be honest with you, I don't know about the timeline. I don't fucking know. All I know is that I would definitely put it after the Nox. That's all I know. But now I don't know, like, did the Nox come first and then the Shaman, or the Shaman first and then the Nox? Part of me thinks the Nox came first. But it's hard to tell, and some people are out here saying, like, no, it was definitely this because this, and I'm sorry, but you just don't know. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much I love you. Don't come out here swinging like that because you don't fucking know. But I do definitely feel confident about the Nox having been the antagonists who caused it. I could be wrong though. It might not be the Nox who caused it. It might be the meteor guys that taught meteor magic. There are some things I think you know, Jack, for sure, but like, nobody knows the timeline. It's too confusing. And it's purposefully confusing. And it's way like, the sheer scale of the timeline of this game is hard to quantify, let alone fathom and organize. And you know, it's purposefully vague, it's purposefully hard to pin down. And so, like, how could you possibly know? Unless you have what's his face on speed dial and you're like, hey, yo. I just think that that's really rude, Jack. Because then what you are suggesting is that myself and all these other lore tubers are stupid, but you know, because it's not that confusing, but because you put it together. And that's just not the case. As a fan of Elden Ring and a musician, it will forever be more fun to me that more than one thing can be true at once. I fully agree. And I think that is literally the case. Because the more I hear from all these people, and I'm like compiling it into a big... Well, no. I'm not saying that you are suggesting that, but I am saying that you saying it's not that confusing when loads of us have been out here thinking and pondering over this for a really long time and putting pieces together that, you know, frankly, I haven't heard anyone else putting together. Um, and then you're like, it's not that confusing, and yet here we are, very confused. So I beg to differ. It is very confusing. Um, it's confusing because the timeline isn't clear. Like, we do know some things came first, but how much earlier were they than other things? And we know of multiple different, like, incredibly ancient civilizations, and just because one group of people were advanced to a particular thing where, like, their archaeology kind of exemplifies that, not their archaeology, I'm sorry, their infrastructure, like the way they build their architecture, showcases their grasp of technological advancement. It doesn't mean that other contemporary people were building with the same kind of finesse. I don't think you need to protect Jack because I'm not attacking Jack. But I mean, if you guys just want me to shut up, I'll stop talking. But I just I don't feel like any one person is an authority on the law except for George and Miyazaki. And I also feel like it is confusing, and I don't feel like I don't know. Well, that's the thing, is I've never been that way. I've been out here talking about my theories for a really long time, and I've always been under the I approach it like I approach paleontology, and that this is what I think and this is why I think it, but like I don't feel certain about my ideas, and even the ones that I do feel certain about, like really, really confident about, I still don't say that I know better than anyone else. And I still constantly say, this is what I think, but I could be wrong. Because that's the reality. And I don't know, but do you see what I'm talking about, Jack? Because you're speaking from a position of, and I don't. So now you're telling me that I'm 90% on the money for the actual real truth that only you have. Do you not see how that's problematic? But I think there is something that you're onto that nobody else is onto. Um, because I've heard you talk about it. And I never thought of those things, and I haven't heard anyone else talking about those things. So I do think you are onto things that nobody else is onto. But so are lots of other people. There are people who are onto things that you haven't discussed, and I think they're brilliant. And that's what I'm talking about, is I don't think that any one person has ownership over the story or knows any better than anyone else. Well, I do have faith in myself, but it doesn't mean that, like, I also have faith in you, by the way, and in these other people who I am plugging in my chat, and in my stream, because they're really good ideas. Like, okay, so I'm approaching this from an academic perspective, and my route of study is limited, and that's why I don't like go out here talking about, how I know everything and I'm right and blah blah blah. But the evidence that Scum has dug up is irrefutable, and the evidence that Occam's Onion showed is irrefutable. And nameless singer is doing incredible shit and irrefutable evidence once again. And so I think loads of people are coming up with lots of really good ideas, and they're all filling in holes in the puzzle, which is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. um but um but I think, we're all missing different stuff. And that was, I think, the value of center tarnished videos, was he's always like, I think I have the blueprints for like how they wrote the story and everything. I think he might not be wrong as to like, this represents this and this represents this and this represents this. Excuse me, but it doesn't tell the story. It shows a parallel. It shows like what inspired them. So I still don't think even he has access to understandings that the rest of us don't. I think everyone's contributions, when they come together, they make like a brilliant medley of ideas that all plug in different holes to arrive at the truth. Um, I don't know. I'm exhausted, and I feel like I'm fighting with people now. Um, all I'm saying is, if you look at their videos, the things that they're talking about is evidence of that some shit happened, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. I give up. I'm just gonna do PvE or something. I thought I saw. Oh, I did. It's just hard to see it with the color of the loot thing is like silver, and so is the sky, and it was like hard to see that. Doodle-doo. It doesn't, but what I've found is, and I don't know if you're still here, Jack, but it wasn't you, and I'm not upset. I'm just I don't know, exhausted. I argue politics too much, and so now, like, you know, I'm doing something I love, and I'm just trying to make a point that I think a lot of different people are bringing really good shit to the table, stuff that I haven't heard other people talk about, and I think some people know things that other people don't know and gloss over something that someone else figured out, and other people don't know other things, and the irrefutable evidence is like that I'm talking about is like things that people find in game, like carvings and this, that, and the other, and stuff that's like built into the, I don't know. This is what I'm talking about, that I'm just kind of exhausted. Like, I don't feel like arguing for it anymore. I just feel kind of like, just whatever. If you don't agree, that's fine. But you know, my feelings aren't hurt. I'm just exhausted. Yeah, I got a thing. Blur. Like, for example, Scum put together some really cool stuff about pine cones and fruits, and you know what they symbolize in our real life, you know, culture, and what they symbolize in game, and that we watch you know, the metamorphosis in the reliefs right in front of me right now, and you know what he believes it means, and it just makes so much sense. It just sounds so good to me, and that's what I'm talking about, is like, not everybody is talking about that, and some people who, like, quote, know everything there is to know, aren't pointing that out, so why not? You know, and that's what I'm talking about. The reason why they're not pointing it out is because it's a detail they didn't know. So I don't think anybody knows everything. Even the people that I love dearly, even the people that I have nothing but respect for, and you know, the people that I think are, in the end, like the totality of, or like the grand scheme of the story, rather. I think they have the best grasp of. But there are still things that, you know, other people are piecing together, and I think it's worth listening to. It's worth lending your ear to. And I hate these guys so much. You know what? Oh, I can't even summon my mimic. That's why I hate them, by the way. You can't dodge their shit. But I think that, like I was saying, that's what makes people like Jack so relevant and important, is that Jack is sharing an aspect of the story that nobody else has, but it's not the only facet of the story worth knowing, or the only facet of the story worth uncovering or telling. You know, there are other people who, you know, are sorting things out as well. And it's valuable, and their voices are cherished and important in this space. And you know, I think there's a way to be too arrogant about it, that, you know, I know I'm not the only one who finds problematic, but it's something that has been discussed in the community before, in like the way that like law law people kind of like take way too much ownership over stuff, and then they're like gatekeepy about like their understanding of the story, and it's like it's unwelcoming to people. And the reason why I'm even saying anything like this is because my own boyfriend says that we are like that. He says that we're insufferable, and it's very unwelcoming to people who want to share their ideas and their perspective. And why does this spell randomly go off in just a random direction sometimes? Um, and you know, for the most part, I don't think it's as problematic. I think people are just excited about their ideas, just like, you know, we all are. Um, and when somebody, you know, hasn't spent the kind of time that we have trying to piece things together, or having insight from reading other George R. R. Martin material, or, you know, whatever other source you have for your understanding of the game, um, or the story that it's trying to tell. um, Whenever somebody comes in and like has an idea that they share that sounds like they haven't spent as much time looking at stuff as we have, it's easy to kind of laugh at it and be like, you know, but like you guys act like, you know, whatever. And we do act that way because we earned it. Because we sit here and like research this stuff, and we think about this stuff, and we're like, you know, digging up theories and investigating and talking to each other and finding little details. Like Messy Jessie, for example, just I think yesterday. And no, David doesn't hate us or hate you guys. He just thinks that he likes you guys a lot, actually, but he just thinks that it's impossible for him to break into our community because we are inadvertently really gatekeepy, because he'll share an idea that he has and we're all like, no, 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 and we just like trample over him with our ideas. I do it to him, like whenever we're alone and I'm just like talking to him about something in Elden Ring that's making me emotional or thoughtful or whatever, and then he shares his ideas or whatever, even I do it. And he says, see, this is why I can't be part of your community. Because he'll share something that, frankly, it does sound stupid to me. It just does. Because we've been piecing things together for like 2 years now. And he doesn't do that. And then when he does finally, like, oh, that's interesting. What if this? And it's something like wacky that isn't supported by anything else in the game, doesn't make any sense, etc., etc., etc. Then, you know, I'm just like, I don't know. He said that I'm not the only one who's done it to him. He said that, and Tweaks has also said the same thing, by the way, that that we've done this, and like when he has had conversations with us about law, sometimes we're just a little bit too, like, we take too much ownership over our ideas and think we know the truth when we don't. And I asked him, I was like, do I do that? And he was like, not really, but maybe kind of. And I was like, I thought that I was one of the least guilty of that. I really did, because I love to hear what people think about it. And I never tell them that they're wrong. But I do tell them, wow, I never thought about that. And here's what I think. And, you know, I could be right, I could be wrong. The only time I get really shitty, and I know that I do, is when people come after Daenerys or Mikola or Renala. If you come after my ladies, I get shitty. But Yeah, yeah. It does. I think it's a yeah. I think it's a legit criticism of us. I think we are guilty of it. Some of us more than others. I honestly don't think so. I don't think that. Okay, so somebody did the law mistranslations for Ronnie, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I was like, so it means the same fucking thing," and they're like, "No, it means this," and it's like, it means the same thing. Like, shut up. It means the same thing. It's not even that different. Like, whenever I've seen that, oh, but actually, according to the encyclopedia of, I'm just like, ugh, whatever. I honestly don't think that you can say that a lot of this game is gate kept behind a language because it was originally written in English and then it was translated into Japanese and then it was retranslated into English. So I really don't think anybody can come at us with the whole like the Japanese are just better than you. Like, it's just not a reality. And I don't know why I'm standing here jumping around, not doing anything. Oh, would he go over the edge? Yay! But yeah, and even like me getting exhausted a moment ago is another example of it. Like, we are kind of insufferable sometimes. Um, all of us, like not just one of us, not just some of us. Like, in this community, we just kind of get that way. And honestly, I think it's cute. I'm okay with it. Like, it's okay, just as long as, like, we keep ourselves grounded and realize when we're being that way. I think it's okay for you to feel passionately about something and for something to mean a lot to you, and then for you to feel like you have a unique life experience or unique perspective to offer. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I was saying, like, Jack does have something special to offer when it comes to understanding this world and this law. But so does Occam's Onion, and so does Nameless Singer, and so does Scum Mage Infa, and so does Kite Tails. Like, I don't think any one person's ideas are like the absolute and they're, the arbiter of, law, like the law keeper. Um, and that's just how I see it. Oh, there is something else I wanted to talk about. Do you guys remember can I just say that I have so much respect for other people who do like live streams and law stuff and do it live. It's got to be so difficult. It's like I run into situations where I'm like, I don't know how people that are bigger than me with huge audiences can handle this stuff. But so what I wanted to point out is Roderica. She leaves here, she leaves you with a golden seed, and you wonder how she got it. But she also leaves you with these little red flowers. Where do you think she got those little red flowers from? These little red flowers. Where do you think she got them from? And what do you think they signify? Where do you think Roderica comes from? With her pale golden hair, like a Knox, like a Newman. And the red flowers, why would she leave those for us? What does that mean? It could be Charos's grave. It could be, but do you know, in the base game, the only place that I remember seeing red flowers like this is here. But these are like marigolds. These aren't like those flowers. Are they? I don't think they are. Do I not have a single grace over here? I'm in New Game Plus, and I guess I didn't go there yet. But, yeah, these are like marigolds, so I don't think this is the source of the flowers. So, where is she from? Where else have we seen lots of different color flowers? Shall we ride around and see if we can find any? Yeah, the ones that were there, they were kind of like daisies. And the ones that were up north there, those were like marigolds. Don't hurt the merchant. Shaman village. Wow. Could it be? But it's supposed to be empty. Like no, like so why would Roderica be there? I don't know if I got my my archery night or not, so I might get a jump scare in a second. So there's definitely orange ones of the same kind. I don't see red. Orange, pink, white, blue. No red. That's really pretty and unique and terribly underused. Yeah, I don't see any red flowers here, so not here. And I really have to pee, so I'm gonna sit with the grandmother. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I suddenly realized those flowers that I christened as blue, they might actually be purple. I think it depends on how the light is hitting them. But those do look purple. Hi Danica. But yeah, so Let's have a look at where the bears are and see if there's red flowers over there. I don't know why there would be different flowers, but... Hi, baby. You breathe like a pug. And you're a cat. No red flowers. So, I think I have seen red flowers. It's just a matter of tracking down where I've seen them. Are you really still chasing me, bear? No. I think... Yeah, the blood on the floor. Yeah, I saw that too. I think there were red flowers here, but if I remember correctly, it's just eye of yellow. Yeah, eye of yellow. So, maybe in Liania? Herm. I really don't remember seeing flowers anywhere exactly here. Hi, Coobs. Happy Friday. Okay, so there are purple flowers of that kind. In fact, they're kind of violet. Violet. Violet little daisies, but I don't see red anywhere. And inside here is gold and blue. And now we're back to purple and violet. And those little purple ones, those are not, those like lilac. Are those daisies? No. They are wildflowers, but I don't think they're daisies. The violet ones are daisies. I think. I don't know. They're both wildflowers. Where else might there be red flowers? Oh, Jawbug! But I don't think that's where she's from, do you? Interesting that there's a grandmother tree here. Did you see it? Yes, that green jewel. Which seems like it's kind of Halig tree coded, doesn't it? My cat, one of my cats, has gained a bunch of weight since she got spayed. And it's made her so clumsy. She has a big ass and she like just knocks things over. It's so cute. She's so cute now. I mean, she was cute before, but something about a chonky cat is just really cute. There's yellow. Found yellow ones. I wonder why this guy paces right here. A duel, good sir. Disrespect. I'm not gonna parry that. Oh my goodness. I'm getting wrecked. I'm not learning. I'm proper shit at this game. The only reason why I do not think Deeproot was affected is because it doesn't look affected. So I think that that cataclysmic event might have happened beforehand. Yeah, no, I am actually proper shit though, because I panic. I'm afraid of everything. Because I never soloed this game. I've always relied on David and Tweaks and others to kind of like play with me. Because I used to be afraid of this game, like very afraid of it. I would like just scream all the time. And so because of that, I think you need torrent for this part, if I remember correctly. But I think if I jump too high, you know what, I think I'm just gonna drop down there. There we go. But yeah, I used to be so deathly afraid of everything that I wouldn't solo in this game at all. Not even what you see me doing now. Like rubbish mobs and stuff, I wouldn't even do that. I can't check Discord right now. Spurred, did you find red flowers somewhere? No red flowers here either. Where did you find them? Shakaya has always been the chonker, but Danica recently has gained weight after her spay. And she is now a chonker as well. Oh, you know where I've seen red flowers? Oh, just random online? Not from in-game? Nascent butterflies. It's just roses. Not like actual red flowers. So these are all pink. Lavender, really. I kind of feel like... I know I've seen red flowers somewhere, but I just don't know where. Don't know where. And you know, I realized just now that I'm doing it again. I am in a stream. And the whole stream is just about me running around getting flowers. All of my streams end up being this. Next to, I don't know where it is in the game though, Golden Fields. Alright, let me lower my game and have a look. And rubble. Oh. I think I know where that is. No? No, it's not here. Where are there, like, carts and stuff? Could it be Dominula? Yeah, I saw those. Those are the marigolds I was looking at. No, it's not here. Fuck. There's red here, but it's not flowers. Why do they have such good aim? Tarnished. Tarnished sunflower. A large flower that blooms facing the Erd tree. These were not facing the Erdtree. Though wilted and faded, it still retains holy essence. Okay, so golden fields, broken down carts. I don't know, this picture I can't like make it bigger. I hate it. Can you send me a better version of this picture? I can't make it bigger. I can't open link. Control zoom. Okay. Okay, wherever that is looks right. Ooh, I think I know where that is. This is the second time I'm saying that. Here they are. Thank you, Spud. Is this where she's from? It makes sense. She is wearing like noble garments. And the other place where we find a similar outfit is in Dominula, nearby. So she lived here and she was displaced due to the war. Maybe? So maybe this is where Roderica's from. Maybe. I don't see any evidence that there was like a settlement here. But maybe she lived in the capital. And she came out here to collect flowers. Maybe she's from Lanedale. There's this Moog. Morgott. It is Morgott. I don't want to solo him. He should be easy this way though, right? Right? I love your jokes. Yes. But you guys have no idea how much of a triumph that is for me. That is the first time I've ever soloed any version of Morgott. And I feel like I did a fairly good job. Did you see me like dodging stuff? Did you guys see that? I dodged stuff. I dodged. Yay! I did it. I really want to play with other people though. So if any of you play on PC and you want to play, I'm in base game right now, but I have both base game and seamless co-op. In fact, Yaaaas. Is that a settlement up there? I meant above this. There's like a camp, it looks like. But I wanted to come here because there's like gravestones and whatnot. Oh, clever bug. Oh, there's a loot. I have a feeling like there's like a mini boss here or something. Rainbow stone. So the size of these gravestones and correlating with like the age past and like how big people used to get. Ooh, white flowers? She might be. Or she could be part of the golden lineage. She could be one of the great Kenneth Heights family members. Oh no. Of all things to get summoned to. Didn't last very long. Poor guy. Pictured with a red cloak. No, Melena's cloak is black. Oh wait, what? Fia. Yeah, Fia also has a black hoodie. Oh, I was wondering what happened to my pills. Danica just like knocked them away. She's like, no, you don't need these. I want to have a look at these white flowers though. Drained of color. She's not singing. White and red. Oh, there's a giant. Or a troll, rather. White flowers and red. It is giving, Roderica. Okay. Anyway, guys. I don't think I really have anything else super interesting to say or do. So I think I might call it here. But thank you for hearing me out in the beginning. Sorry I am a brat and was like exhausted or whatever. But I don't know, I just don't think that any one person holds the key to all things. But I think that every single person holds the key to something special. So that's just what I think. Anyway, I'm gonna log off. It's like hot. I need to like cool down and stuff. But thank you guys all for hanging out. And some of you I'm gonna be watching a film with in a few hours. So for those of you who watch the film, see you in a few hours. And for the rest of you, thank you for coming by, and I will see you guys later.